Hi there. In today's video, I want to share something that happened in my business in the late fall, early December, because I think it's a really great example of what can so easily happen when we are out of alignment, which is what happened to me. So I was having an issue in my business end of last fall, beginning of the winter, which if you're a business owner, you know that's kind of what you do. You're always tweaking and solving problems. It really is just part of the process. So it's just something I'm used to. And I actually love solving problems. I'm pretty resilient. So this doesn't really faze me. It's just something I've got to work through and get through. So I kept trying to tweak things, but I wasn't getting it. And I was just getting more frustrated and really starting to feel resentful about this problem and just really feeling uncomfortable with it. And was starting to feel like realizing that I was really out of alignment somehow, but I really couldn't figure out kind of how. And that happens when we're not in alignment. We can often feel overwhelmed, stressed, undervalued, all those kinds of things. And what being in alignment really is when your outer circumstances match with who you are as a person, which of course requires you knowing who you are. So I was starting to sense that I was out of alignment and I didn't know how to get back. And there is a part of me that kicks in because I'm a high achiever that says to myself, well, you can figure this out, Andrea. Like, you're strong enough, you're smart enough. Like, I tell myself these stories, right? And I do believe that. But sometimes what we value about ourselves can be one of our biggest blind spots. It was over the holidays that I was really reflecting on this. And I realized that, I could push through. I could be resilient. I could figure this out. I could do all these things. And then I had this moment where I'm like, I actually just don't want to. I don't want to. Like, I just don't want to deal with this situation anymore. So I made some changes. But it was such an interesting moment when I saw myself pushing, trying to make something happen that really was out of alignment. And the reason why I really wanted to share this today is because high achievers, we can do this. Because we are quote unquote successful, or because we can do something, doesn't mean you should. I could have kept pushing forward. I could have kept, moving and making it happen. But it was that moment where I went, I actually just don't want to. And it was so liberating. And now I'm not saying you can do that with every situation in your life. Like, you can't always just do that. In this case, it was a pretty easy fix, to be honest with you, just to kind of go, I'm not doing that anymore. But it's just an example of how we can get out of alignment and not see that there's actually other options. And just because we can do something doesn't really mean we should. What I've learned over the years is alignment is a process. For most people who are going on autopilot, who are living their lives as they were raised to, and sort of the patterns and everything they've had in their life, they often find themselves in a point where they're completely out of alignment. Right? And so they start to take little steps. And it really is like focusing on more and more till we get to the point where everything is in alignment in our lives. So it is a process. And so, although my business was very much in alignment with me, there was still this aspect that wasn't, that I was able to change and adapt. So if you are somebody who's on that path of wanting to get your life into alignment, wanting to get your career into alignment, do understand that it is a process. The beautiful thing about it is every step you take towards greater alignment with yourself feels really freaking good. It really does. When I made that decision, I cannot tell you how free I felt. I just went, oh my gosh, yes, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I need to make this shift. I need to do this for myself. And it felt really, really good. So just know sometimes it feels like a hard decision, which it did for me. Like, I really was in resistance to making this change. It really was. Because it was my ego that was saying, oh, you can do this. You can do this. My soul was saying, you don't want to. And in the end, I'm thankful that I listened to my soul and took a different direction. But just know that it is a process, but in that process, there are beautiful victories every step of the way.